Hi guys, so I'm here today with this makeup look. I wanted to do something kind of bold but not your typical smoky eye, so I just decided to dig into my makeup collection and kind of see what I haven't used in a while. So I really pulled out like 3 MAC shades, eyeshadow shades that I haven't used in forever, and then I kind of went from there. So I hope you enjoy this look. If you have any questions, leave them in my comments below or find me on any other social media platforms and just let me know. Okay guys, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with Painterly Paint Pot. It's a eyeshadow base by MAC. You just go ahead and apply it with your finger. Once it stops being creamy and it starts kind of tugging and becoming tacky on your eyelid, you can go ahead and apply a translucent powder or any kind of eyeshadow that's your skin tone, and that way it will set it. And then you can go in with your transition color. I'm going to be using the Morphe M441 brush, and I'm going to go in with Rule by MAC. I'm going to start with applying this above my crease slightly, just because since it's the first eye, you are kind of treating it like the guinea pig and kind of seeing what's going to work. Since I know I'm going to be using multiple eyeshadows and it's not going to be a very natural look, I'm going to go ahead and apply slightly above my crease and not directly in my crease. That way I can leave room for the other shades. So all I'm doing is either swiping or buffing it in. You want to use the smallest amount just right on the tip of the brush, and then just work that in. Now I'm going to be going in with Red Brick Eyeshadow by MAC. This is also an orange shade, but it's a lot deeper. So I'm going to, in this one, I'm going to go and start patting it, and then right in my crease and slightly below. And then also do the same thing, just slightly start swiping and then buffing. Okay, so I realized I needed a smaller, less fluffy blending brush, so I switched to the Morphe M433 brush. It's also a blending brush, but it's more dome-shaped, and it's a little more tapered, so it allows you to get in the area a little more precisely. So since I didn't want to really blend upwards or like too much, I decided to use this and just keep going in with Red Brick right in my crease. So that way, since we went in with Rule first, you don't have to really blend this shade too much because Rule did that for us. So the motions are pretty repetitive. You're going to grab the color and then just kind of pat it where you want most intensity, and then you're going to start buffing and moving it around where you want. It's all a matter of what you want, how intense you want the color to look. Also, I start bringing it down just a little bit right where my eyeball is. I'm not going to really worry too much about putting it on the inner or outer corner because I'm going to be going with a darker shade right there. So I just kind of blended it down towards the center. Okay, so now for the fun part. I'm going to be going in with Sketch Eyeshadow by MAC. It's this really beautiful purpley shadow with some shimmer to it. So I'm going to start placing it on the outer corner with a pencil brush. This is just a Sigma pencil brush. So I'm going to kind of press the shade down and then start kind of making a V, kind of going on the lash line and then right up towards my crease, but keeping it really tight right there until I get the color that I want, and then I'll go in with a buffing brush afterwards. So I'm going to do the same thing right on the inner corner, since it's already kind of a little V shape right there. You just have to kind of follow it up towards your crease and keep it right in the inner corner. So after you get kind of the intensity and you kind of connect the purple together in the crease, I'm going to go back in with the M433, the more compact blending brush, and I'm just going to start blending out the edges to make it look a little softer. Okay, so all that blending can kind of cause the intensity to fade a little bit. So now that you have blended all of the outside, you can go ahead and go in with the pencil brush again and kind of slightly intensify just the middle of all of that purple. And more blending. As you can see, once you're almost done, you just kind of blend in like big motions instead of teeny tiny ones. It's really important that when you're first doing it, you want to be really careful where you're swiping. You don't want to swipe this big when you're first starting out, because then it can just, you know, turn into a big blob. Okay, so now we're going to do the face. Now that the eyes are all done, I do still need to do the lower lash line and like some mascara and stuff, but we'll do that after I do my concealer and my foundation and all that stuff. So if you have dry skin, I highly recommend this primer water by Smashbox and the foundation I'm going to use, which is the Fit Me Dewy Smooth by Maybelline. It is awesome together. Okay, so now it's time for concealer. I'm going to go in with the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I have to use this before concealer. I'm going to use the E22 by Morphe to apply it right where my dark circles are, which is pretty much all over my under eye. And then I'm going to go in with my finger and just pat it out. Once it starts drying and it's not so sticky, you can go right in with your concealer. And I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty pricey for how small it is, but it lasts a really long time. And honestly, I just use so much less concealer when I use this underneath, and it's just bomb. Like, you will not regret it. You will not be able to live without it. For if you have really dark under eyes, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, just get it and thank me later. Since I'm not going for the super highlighted look, I'm just going to go for the one that's my skin tone. I'm just going to use the concealer in all the places that I usually use concealer. I'm going to go in with the Morphe G8 brush. I love this brush. Besides the sponge, this is probably, I like this better. Sometimes my brush is just a little too dirty and it doesn't like work as well. So that's when I'll go in with the sponge. But this is my favorite way to blend out my concealer. Okay, so I'm going to be going in with the translucent powder by Laura Mercier, What Else Is New, and I'm going to be applying it with the sponge. I just dip it in there and just kind of put it where I want it. I put a little too much on my nose, but that's alright. So I used to bake while I was doing my eyebrows, but I'm way too dry for that. So now I just kind of slightly contour my nose using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer in Milk Chocolate. I'm going to be using a Sigma blending brush. All of my Sigma brushes are so old, I don't know the numbers on the sides, they're all rubbed off. But you can use whatever blending brush you want, just make sure it's clean so you don't have any other shadows on there, and it's not going to look pretty if you do that. I'm going to go in with the E3 Morphe brush to dust up all of the translucent powder, and then use an IT Cosmetics brush to bronze up my face with the same Chocolate Soleil bronzer. So I'm going to go in a little bit heavier handed with the matte bronzer today, just because like I've been saying, I'm doing more of a matte face today. Okay, so I'm just going to be using a little bit of Benefit Hoola Bronzer on the tip of the same buffing brush that I use to do the matte bronzer all over the face, and I'm just going to focus it towards the back and just swipe downwards, so just to deepen up the contour just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm all done with my eyebrows. I just did them a little bit thicker on the ends as I usually would. Just did a little matte highlight right underneath. Now I'm going to go ahead and smoke out my lower lash line, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to start with a black eye kohl pencil. This is Smolder by MAC. So I'm just going to line my waterline. I also tightlined, but I did not get a clip of that. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to get this taupey shade that's going to help blend out the orange shades a little bit better, so it doesn't look too bright under there. So once I kind of buff it all along the lash line, very close to my waterline, then I'm also going to kind of grab just a little bit of the eye kohl, and kind of drag it down just a little bit so it's not so harsh. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to kind of do the same thing I did on the upper lid. So I'm going to start with the lightest shade, Rule, and I'm just going to keep buffing it right underneath the taupey shade. And then once I kind of see it peeking through, I'm going to switch to the darker orange, which is Red Brick, and then just lightly place it in there and you'll see it brighten right up. Okay, so I smoked out the other side, and I also added some mascara. I just used the Rimmel Lash Accelerator. Now I'm going to just put a little bit of blush. The one that I'm using is Gingerly by MAC. Looks like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use this blush brush. It's by Sonia Kashuk. It's super old, so I have no idea what it's called or what number it is, but we're just going to go with it. With blush, I'm not going to go too heavy. It's really easy to go heavy-handed with the blush just because of the eyeshadow. So I just kind of, when I do this, I just kind of go like in an oval, like a motion. Like I just go up and down and up and down, and then I go in the middle and blend it out. See, so just added a little bit of color, but nothing too heavy. Now I'm going to go in with the lip color. So I'm going to be using a ColourPop liquid lipstick called Chilly Chill. I just kind of fill in the center, and then I kind of line the side, kind of turning the little doe foot applicator like outwards towards the corners of my mouth. And then that's it. That's all I do. So another good tip about liquid lipsticks is that you don't want to apply too many layers on top of each other. Once you kind of do one swipe, you should be good to go. And that way you prevent it from clumping up on you. And that's it, guys. That's all I did for this look. It was a bit much, actually, but I had a lot of fun creating it, so hopefully you guys liked it. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, just let me know in the comments below. Also, I have all my social media information in the description box, so go ahead and check that out.